Max Kellerman, how worried should the West be of Luka Magic?
Well, they should be worried. And I know they haven't played well this year. They didn't look good. But a lot of that, they've been snake bit by COVID, by Porzingis' injury. And this is the kind of team that is just going to have to get lucky with timing in terms of injuries. And guess who's back? Porzingis. They were better than the Clippers in last year's playoffs. Clippers got lucky, and Porzingis got hurt.
Chris, will Damian Lillard finally get the Blazers to the finals?
No, Molly, and if he's not careful, Damian Lillard might not get the Trailblazers out of the first round of the playoffs, depending on the draw. Listen, as much as I want to see Dame time, I think he's one of the most fun players to watch in the NBA. He's electric. The guy is a walking bucket. If they've got to play the Clippers, I just don't trust that you're talking about a team that's worst in assists in the NBA and second last in defensive rating. So you mean to tell me that there are no easy buckets because they don't share the ball and they can't stop anybody? Going to be a tough time for the Blazers.
Max, the Lakers stars didn't play, but they won anyway. Does it matter where they end up in the standings?
No, the only important thing for the Lakers is health. That's it. If they are fully healthy, I believe they get out of the West no matter how they go. And as a matter of fact, they may be better off in the play-in game and avoiding the Clippers in the first round going in cold with everyone coming back at the same time, get a little warmed up, then take on the Suns or the Jazz instead.
So the Lakers are currently the 7th seed out west, but trail the Mavericks by 1 game for the 6th spot, which would get them out of the play-in tournament. As things currently stand, LA would face Steph and the Warriors in the play-in tournament. Let's keep it rolling. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. James Harden returned for the first time since April 5th, where he only played 4 minutes with that right hamstring. In a win against the Lakers, Kyrie did not play. We've only seen the big three on the court together 7 times this season, and they last took the floor together 3 months ago, February 13th. Harden, talk to me.
Not to brag or anything, but I'm really good at this game. You know, I study the game. Very unselfish. I take the game and I play it the right way every single night. So I don't try to do anything that I can't do.
Max, is James Harden right?
Not only is he right, and I never thought he was a selfish player. My problem with Harden is he choked in the biggest moments in the playoffs. He choked, period. I don't apologize for that. And I said the same thing about Steph. He was a lesser version of himself, right? But then what happened against Toronto? Actually, Steph started hitting big shots in the finals when it mattered most. Just because you were like that once upon a time doesn't mean you're doomed to be that for the rest of your life. Not only is Harden right about himself, listen up. James Harden is going to win Finals MVP this season. He's going to be the Finals MVP. And the secret sauce over there, you know what this team really is? This is the D'Antoni Harden Rockets, but they traded for KD and Kyrie. This is James Harden and D'Antoni came to a Game 7 at home. Missed 27 straight threes in that game. No Chris Paul. They only lost by single digits to the KD, Steph, Clay, Dre Warriors. And now Harden, with D'Antoni sitting on the bench running that pick and roll, has KD and Kyrie as weapons. Never mind Joe Harris. They are going to stomp through the Eastern Conference, stomp whoever they see in the finals. James Harden's going to win Finals MVP.
Kendrick Perkins, what do you have to say about this?
Well, it's a lot of things, Molly, and here it is, right? Did I just hear Max Kellerman say that Steph Curry hit big shots in the finals when it mattered the most? Did he
against
just
Toronto.
say that?
I said that yesterday, too, against Toronto. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I thought the argument and debate here, I don't listen. First thing first is that the Eastern Conference is not that easy like you think it is, okay? The Milwaukee Bucks are really, really good. So is the Philadelphia 76ers. They will not be an easy out. So the road to the finals for the Nets is going to be a lot tougher than the road to the finals for the Los Angeles Lakers, in my opinion. Let me make that very clear. Second of all, I'm going to say this. Before injury, I said that, you know what? James Harden is the best basketball player in the world right now. He's playing the best basketball. But he got hurt. And guess what? Steph Curry came to light, okay? He is the best. Steph Curry is the best basketball player in the world today. It's no other guy doing what he does with the personnel that he has. He is carrying this Warriors team, okay? If Steph Curry was not on this team, they would be in the lottery. I just watched them play against the Phoenix Suns, and it was multiple possessions, but one in particular, okay? I'm used to superstars getting double teamed, maybe even triple teamed. They had 4 players on one possession guarding Steph Curry, completely ignoring everybody else. That is just signs of respect and greatness. Steph Curry, in my opinion, is the best player on the planet Earth today.
Let me tell you what's unfair about that real quick, Chris. Let me just jump you just for a second. What's unfair about that is when Steph was on a super-duper team, the likes of which we have never seen, when they won 73 games and then got KD, right? Steph's so great and everything. Harden was playing with nobody compared to what Steph had. Nobody. And yet, the Rockets should have won that series. Game 7, they downed Chris Paul. They didn't have a squad to compete with that Warriors team. How did they do it? Harden and D'Antoni almost beat him. Just James Harden, really. And they had an awful game. Still only lost by single digits, right? So now it's flipped. Now Steph doesn't have the squad. He's a little over 500. And Harden's crewed up. And now that's held against James Harden? No. You were right the first time, Perk. The level at which Harden makes everyone around him better is LeBron James-like. Not light, like. It's like LeBron. Game for game this season, he's been the best player on earth. I expect that to continue in the playoffs.
Max, you know how much I love what James Harden has been doing this season. A lot of people doubted him when they made the trade from Houston, wondering if he can fall into that role of being able to facilitate the greatness of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. But Max, you do this all the time. You took it one step too far. Because although I do think James Harden is the most important piece to this Nets team when it comes to title contention, make no mistake about it. It's all about Kevin Durant when it comes winning time. I mean, we saw Kevin Durant in 2016 drawing a dynastically great team in the Golden State Warriors. And what did you see Steph and Klay do? They all deferred to Kevin Durant. So if the Nets are going to win a championship when it comes to those crunch time plays, just give the ball to number 7 in isolation and move out of the way. He doesn't need James Harden to set him up at that point. So as much as I love James Harden and what he's been able to do, and then seeing what he did last night, being able to come off of a 19-game absence and being able to almost drop a triple-double, 3 rebounds short, it was impressive. But Kevin Durant is still the best player on this team. And I think after this playoffs is all said and done, Kevin Durant is going to show that he's the second best player in the world behind LeBron James.
You can't. Go ahead, Bert.
And Canty, Molly, you know what gets me about you, Max, is this, okay? I remember, man, last year, it was you, I, and Big Swagoo, Big Marcus Spears on here, and we were debating about who's the better basketball player between James Harden and Steph Curry. Forget winning championships and all that. We said who's the better all-around basketball player between Steph Curry and James Harden. And Swagoo and I, Big Marcus Spears, literally lost our mind. We lost our mind debating with you, telling you that James Harden is the better all-around player than Steph Curry. And you argued us down and was ready
that
to go
upsets
to
you?
trade with it.
That upsets you?
I mean, yeah.
I'd like to read something. Anyone who doesn't follow Kendrick Perkins on Twitter, you're missing out. Kendrick Perkins is a beast on Twitter. Under 24 hours ago, less than a day ago, 19 hours to be precise, Kendrick Perkins tweeted the following. Don't get it twisted for a second. I call it how I see it, all caps, in the moment. But I'll switch it up if things change. Oh, so Kendrick Perkins, let me quote Big Perk. I switch it up if things change. And you know what changed? James Harden went to a team where he was not tasked every night with scoring 50 points to get the win. And what he showed is he could play with others in a way that elevates everyone beyond where almost anyone who's ever lived has done it. Perk, you can even look at guys like Magic and LeBron. You know what they can't do? Shoot like James Harden. James Harden took the court vision, the leadership, the scoring from anywhere, unlike I've ever seen before. He raised his game this year, and he's ahead of Steph Curry.
Max, he done this. He was doing the same thing in Houston with less talent. What are you talking about?
Well, maybe.
We're talking about a guy in one season that led the league in assists, who averaged 28 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds. And then he went on to averaging 35 points and 34 points and 33 points and still dishing out dimes. Max, what are you talking about? I told you that James Harden has history under his belt for us having 60-point triple doubles.
You shouldn't be flip-flopping right now.
Okay.
Don't flip-flop. Stay with your dude, because Harden is proving it. If it was the case that he just wasn't given the opportunity to prove what he's proving now, fine. But then stick with your guy.
The Nets are 20-7 when Harden plays. Listen, the only person who stays consistent on this show, that would be me. When we come back, the city of Chicago rejoicing.
Molly says the same thing.
Listen, I lay low, I stay consistent, is what it is. The Bears selected Justin Fields, so what are the chances we'll see the young phenom out there week 1? And there are some revenge games. You know, I love that. We got our eyes on the season, as in Brady versus Belichick. Revenge is a dish best served cold. We get into that.